Hey, good morning. Thank you for coming by. Tori Magoo 44. I greatly appreciate it. It's August 8th, 2009. Amazing. 2010's coming up. And there's many things that are happening today. People have been calling me and asking me about this Freedom magazine, and someone finally sent it to me because I actually hadn't seen it. And I was like, oh my God. This is Scientology's greatest trick. This is what they do. This is their best trick. If you haven't read the Freedom magazine article, you need to read it. I'll try to put a link up there so you can click on it and see it. But it makes Scientology look so fantastic. And David Miscavige, of course, he wanted to talk to the St. Pete Times, but they wouldn't talk to him. Now, from what I wasn't there, but from the people I've talked to, apparently they were willing to talk to Miscavige, but kept doing their typical, if they really don't want to talk to someone, they just, they're busy here, and they'll be there soon, and they'll be there, and pretty soon they'll get there, and eventually people are like, you know what, forget it, he's not available. And it's not that he wasn't available, do you know what I mean? He isn't available. He doesn't want to be on camera, right? And there's some very definite references that I'm going to refer to. This is one of the key ones. It's called target defense. Now, in keeping Scientology working, a very key part of it is you can never say any part of the tech was old or isn't used anymore. That's keeping Scientology working, right? They're going to say this is old and it's not used anymore. But it is used. You can just look at it and see it. Okay, so this is target defense written by, this is one of the policies, it's a top secret policy, it's written by L. Ron Hubbard. It was in February 17th, 1966, right? And here's what it says: the vital targets of which we must invest most of our time are: 1, depopularizing the enemy to a point of total obliteration. That's pretty scary. Let me read that to you again. Depopularizing the enemy to a point of total obliteration. Now, I'm part of the enemy, as you all recall, being declared a suppressive person. That's what they do. If they don't like what you're saying, and they don't want you, if you don't come around and agree with what they're going with, they declare you suppressive. And then, just like this, they put it on goldenrod. No one is allowed to talk to you, which is true to this day. No one in Scientology can talk to me. If they do, they're declared. Now, thankfully, because of the internet, a few people have gotten around that, and a few more that are lurking. Just know that you're not the only person in there that has gotten around this ridiculous thing. Many people are out, but they're in and under the radar. That's what they call it. This is number 2 of target defense. Taking over the control and allegiance of the heads of or proprietors of all news media. I stumbled on that, so let me try it again. Taking over the control or allegiance of the heads or proprietors of all news media. That's pretty heavy when you think about it. That is very heavy. This was written by L. Ron Hubbard. And Miscavige is putting out and doing his things, right? 3, taking over the control and allegiance of key political figures. Okay? This is in writing. Remember, if it isn't in writing, it isn't true. That's part of Hubbard's thing. Well, this is in writing. I faxed this to media to show it to them because they're like, well, do you have anything? And I faxed it to them. They'll call me back. Okay, you're on. Taking over the control or allegiance of those who monitor international finance and shifting them to a less precarious finance standard. Ooh, doesn't that just spook you out? I mean, it's like, this is why we're out, this kind of stuff. The people that are out, which is a vast majority of people, left because of this kind of creepy stuff, right? 5, generally revitalizing the societies in which we are operating, in their way, of course. 6, winning overwhelming public support, which this article was really working on. And 7, use all other similar groups as allies, okay? And they do that a lot with churches. That's why I try not to speak out. First of all, I don't believe Scientology is a religion. I don't. They don't believe in God, so if you're a religious person and you're thinking they do, they don't. They'll drag out their 1 or 2 references to God, but in truth, They don't pray. They don't have church service. They have a phony church service I was part of setting up years ago. I love that Miscavige gives all his quotes about the Fort Harrison, then skips over the part about them buying the Fort Harrison under a complete lie, having guards outside with guns, the massive campaign to save sparkling clear water, stamp out Scientology, run by Richard Tenney, me that they set up to get rid of Richard Tenney, someone before me set up to get rid of Gabe Gasaris, the mayor, which they did. You know, these were huge, horrible campaigns. Did I know it? Not really. I didn't understand. I mean, I did. I knew that we were trying to get rid of the evil Richard Tenney because he was trying to save sparkling clear water, stamp out Scientology. And of course, being in and being a Scientologist, that seemed like, yeah, he was doing a creepy thing. But when I look back on it, it was so programmed and so manipulated and so step by step behind the curtain. You know, why don't you just do this? And why don't you just go to this meeting? And why don't you go talk to this person? And why don't we do that? And it all kind of seems like this is all done with a humanitarian way, which is how this Time magazine article is like. They care so much. One of their biggest tricks is their PR propaganda. Same as it's been for other groups in the history of time, right? Because first of all, one of the things that they have that nobody ever had before is Photoshop. How do we know all those people are really at all those orgs? I don't see anybody I know except for Ann Archer and Jenna Elfman. Those are the only two people I recognize. I used to see tons of my friends in the magazines. I used to know them. I used to be in them. I'm not anymore. I'm out. So are tons of other people. So if we're all out, what's up, Scientology? If DM is such a humanitarian, why won't he talk to us? Why is he breaking up families? Why is he still beating up staff members? Why is he locking up the executives in the SB Hall? You come answer those questions, and then I'll come answer every single step of your article. But until you can talk about those things and why you have to keep stopping free speech and why you have to keep having other people run programs to lie about myself and many other people who've left Scientology, you are never going to be looked at as a humanitarian. Not now, not today, not ever. Okay? Those things need to be handled and stopped. Families need to be reunited. You need to stand up for the truth of what you are doing instead of the phony propaganda that you keep putting out. And that's from me, Tori Crispin, Burbank, California. You're welcome to come anytime. Step on in. I'd love to talk to you. We can do a little interview on TV. We can do it on camera. We can put it on YouTube. Come on, man. You got some balls. You said you did. You said in the article you do. Step on over. I'd love to talk to you. I'm a person who was in for 30 years. I can talk about Narconon. I can talk about Way to Happiness. I can talk about the Fort Harrison. I can talk about all the things you're talking about. You had that expansion going for the entire 30 years. Hubbard did, and now you do. How great it is. How better it is. How much more we are. Look at the keys to every single city. I was one of the people who probably went out and got some of those stupid keys. You know what I mean? It's like, come on over, man. Step up to the plate. Come talk. And until then, all you are is a bunch of propaganda and a weasel that hides behind people and gets them to do things they're not even understanding what they're doing. And that is what I have to say about the Freedom magazine and their horseshit. All right? So the rest of you, I hope you keep doing what you're doing. Keep saying what you're saying. People are getting out because of it, and they are free today because of what you're doing. And thank you for it. All right, have a good day. Tori Crispin, over and out.